What's going on, guys? Welcome to Own the Chaos. It is my first ever midday market recap. So, trying something new this week. We'll see if it takes off, see if you guys like it. Just going to recap some of the major movers within the market, why I think they moved the way they moved, and if I think they'll continue to trend whatever direction they're going to go into. This is kind of an attempt to just kind of get you going on, where the value might end up at, or where the value might be, rather, and just kind of like get an overall sense of what the market's doing throughout the day, so maybe you can make decisions on whether to buy or sell positions that you might be in on. Now, I will say today's market has had a little bit more volume than usual, so hopefully we're kind of getting there. The market in general and the OTC is starting to turn around, so hopefully that is some positive points for some positive things to come. But there's two stocks that I wanted to go over today. I kind of wanted to theme this a little bit, give you one that is doing terrible and why it's doing terrible, and then give you one that's doing well and kind of give you why it's doing well and where do I think it might go after here. So first one is going to be the infamous WDBG. I'll go ahead and share my screen with you now. If you are not familiar with this platform here, it is WeTradeHQ.com. It's absolutely free to join and use. It's a platform that I and my partner Jacob co-founded. You have the ability to connect with other like-minded individuals, help each other learn and grow with whatever it is that you're investing. It does not necessarily have to be geared towards OTC stocks. It's any stock that you want to play around with in the market, cryptocurrency, you name it. WeTradeHQ is the place for you. So I have the chart here pulled up for WDBG, and as you can see, it had a major gap down this morning. Unreal the way that this was up, up almost 3 cents on its highs within the last few weeks. And it's really just, it's been a tough one to swallow. I know a lot of folks saw a lot of success with this. If you're not familiar with the history of this stock, it was at one point NHPI. They had a ticker symbol change. Lots of folks played this within the 000 range and rode it all the way up to the top. Unfortunately, what happened with WDBG today, as you can see, it's down 77% already. Friday, it really tanked because of this. If you're not familiar with this site, it is the Nevada Secretary of State's, where a lot of you can get a lot of information on reinstatements with companies and that sort of thing. So what people were nervous about on Friday, why there was such a big sell-off, was because of this amendment that came out. People feared that there was a significant reverse split happening, which is never a good thing in the OTC. And it just so happened that that's exactly what took place. So this came out on Friday after hours. On December 31st, 2018, our board of directors approved a reverse split of our common stock at a ratio of 1 share for every 9,000. Holy cow. 9,000 to 1 reverse split. That is an insane. I mean, I've seen some reverse splits, guys. That is insane. It's a tough pill to swallow because, they got themselves current. Everything was looking up. And then all of a sudden, the rug gets pulled out from everybody. The CEO, if you ask me, really kind of did folks dirty, whoever invested in this. This wasn't one that I played in particular, just kind of watched from the sidelines. But, and the reason I did that is because I saw so much loading here and I wasn't, I don't mind getting in stuff that might be lightly front loaded, but something that's heavily front loaded as this is not something that I'm particularly keen on. But that's why WDBG is doing what it's doing. Guys, don't make the mistake, in my opinion, if this was me making a play on this or looking at this to see if there was a potential play, I would stay as far away from this as possible. Again, you don't have to, this isn't telling you what to do or what you should or shouldn't do, but just in my experience, this is a 9,000 to 1 reverse split. The value of this, whatever your position is going to be, is just going to be severely diminished. I don't see this recovering at all. It's going to take a long time for WDBG to really kind of get its act together. 9,000 to 1 reverse split. Boy, that is just awful. All right, enough of the bad news. The good news is this one here, LVGI, kind of came out of nowhere. it is up 160% from its highs, or from its lows, I should say. So it actually had a high of 13 so far today. So it's just kind of been an unbelievable mover. Would I take a position on this? For me personally, I don't know if I would. I think this is probably going to just be a missed opportunity at this point. But this is why it's moving. Limitless Venture Group Inc. Acquires a majority interest in Tulsa's first medical cannabis care facility. And we know that this is the hot sector right now. Anything cannabis related, CBD, hemp, you name it. So everybody's getting into it. So this acquisition here is obviously a big deal, especially for something sitting in the trips. People are buying the hell out of it, and it is rolling. Now, this isn't one that I'm keen on. The thing that if I were trading this, I would try to be cautious about is that the yield sign is still on here, which, you know, if they're going to be putting out PRs as significant as that, I would try to get myself current before I start putting that out there. You could potentially run a risk of getting a CE on something like LVGI if they're putting out PRs like this and they are not current. That's just one thing that I would try to be cautious of. This is the other thing. The share structure is massive, and if you look at the chart here, I mean, you could see some pretty decent loading going on before this run up. So while that news is very significant, and it has ran now 160%, which is amazing. You guys, if anybody made a play on this, congratulations, good job, nice trade. But as far as sustainability goes, I'm not sure if this run is actually going to sustain. You can obviously see on the RSI that it is way above 70. It's blasting past the upper Bollinger Band. So there's got to be some point where this has to have a pullback. I don't know when that's going to be. We're kind of in no man's land here at this point, being in double zeros. I mean, you can go all the way back to last year, and it's been in the trips for a seriously long time. So this is all but an all-time high for LVGI. So, you know, the volatility here is insane. For me personally, I would not try to take a position on this just because of the uncertainty here, especially with that yield sign being on and, you know, everything else. I think that it's probably going to be one that just I'm going to watch from the sidelines and cheer somebody on if they're in it. Again, if you made a good trade on it, good job. Nicely done. But there you have it. It's just a midday recap, just kind of going over a couple of things that, you know, we wanted to, you know, I thought this kind of could be a good way to just kind of judge how the market's doing for the day. I know a lot of you guys out there work. Maybe you're watching this on your lunch break or whatever, just to kind of see how the markets react in the middle or in the morning. And so there you go. That's the midday market recap. A couple of stocks to note that are kind of making some moves. IBGR looks like it's consolidating very nicely. Looks like there's some decent accumulation going on in that. Some major volume, more than usual. A couple of other things. PBYA looks like it's got some movement going on. DIGAF actually has some significant volume coming in, showing up on my momentum scanners. And let's find another one. GHHC actually looks like it's bouncing up from its lows as well. Wow, some really significant volume actually just popped up on my greater volume scanner. So those will be ones that I'll probably watch for the rest of the afternoon and see how they end up. Otherwise, guys, thank you so much for tuning in for my very first midday market recap. Bill, good to see you, man. Thanks for tuning in. Again, this is just my first go around at this. We'll see if it picks up and see if people catch on and start enjoying it. So with that, folks, thank you so much for joining. If you are visiting for the first time and have not subscribed to my channel and want to see further content such as this, go ahead and do that and click that like button if you enjoyed this video today. And I will see you all, as always, before the bell. B. Smith is out. Take care, guys.